Hawks Lays an Egg by Butterfly Apocalypse on AO3. Episode 20, Chapter 8. Missing Hawks always hit him when he was trying to sleep. It wasn't just the lack of a comfy mattress and fluffy blankets. It was the lack of large feathered wings taking up too much room and the lack of callous hands grabbing at his own. It was the lack of Hawks. It made his chest feel empty, and was one of the few things that could drive Dabi to describe himself as heartbroken. Falling in love with Hawks had been the stupidest thing he'd ever done, which was saying something because he once got one of his staples caught on a squirrel. It was trying to steal his french fries. He had to retaliate, and one thing led to another. Why didn't he text Hawks? He didn't want to be desperate. Well, he was. Disgustingly, revoltingly so, in a way that made Dabi question his entire identity. It wouldn't make a difference if he texted first, or Hawks texted first. Dabi knew he would come running back like a puppy dog as soon as Hawks called. As someone had always thought his persona, if he had one, which he didn't, would be an alley cat, this was distressing. It wouldn't hurt to text Hawks. The worst thing that would happen is Hawks would just tell him to get lost again, and he'll be no worse off than he already was. Maybe Hawks could be talked into booty calls. That was definitely worth texting him. Dabi pulled out his phone, found his messaging chain with Hawks, and what should he say? What could he say? I'm sorry I told you you couldn't join the league. You still can, but I'm sorry. That wouldn't help anything, because that would just bring up the topic that got him kicked out again in the first place. He had to ponder to Hawks' interests. Do you want to have sex? That seemed too direct. Not that Hawks was the type to need to be wined and dined. Dabi just thought he wouldn't be as receptive to the direct approach after a fight. What are you wearing? Nice. That might actually work. Classic line, and gives Hawks the power to steer the conversation. But maybe Hawks wouldn't be interested into a conversation. Maybe he wouldn't want to read that much text. Dabi needed to be as direct as possible. Eggplant emoji. He nodded to himself. That would do. He found the eggplant emoji and selected it. He stared at the unsent message. Maybe it was too aloof. Maybe Hawks didn't have mushy feelings for him. But Dabi had mushy feelings for Hawks. Maybe he should tell him more about those. Maybe he should just go for it. Drop the L-bomb. Dabi couldn't even type it out. Abort. He didn't want to be too wordy, but he also didn't want to be impersonal. He wanted to express his feelings, but he didn't want to scare Hawks off. This text needed to be a peace offering of political proportions. This needed to be the olive branch. Then he had it. It was perfect. It was short, it was open, it wasn't aloof, and it let Hawks decide where the conversation went. To baby mama. Hey. And that was how you win a man back. Dabi dramatically threw open the door to the warehouse and swayed in. Hawks hadn't texted him back, and he was ready to kill people. Hey there, strays. Let's get this show on the road. He clapped his hands together. His eyes were adjusting to the dark of the warehouse, and he became aware of several sets of relative eyes shining in the dark. You came alone? A gruff voice asked. All by myself, Dabi said, spreading his arms. Just like a seal dying. Dabi may or may not have listened to that song many times as well. Smellier. Is he telling the truth? The gruffy voice called into the darkness. Yep. A shrilled voice came. Well, if you were going to check, why even bother asking? Dabi scoffed. To see if you were going to tell the truth. A different voice said. Dabi smirked. Well, that just hurts my feelings. Don't you trust me? The strays stopped into the center of the warehouse, and Dabi could make out their features. He suddenly understood why they were called the strays. Every single one of them, it appeared, had a dog-like mutation quirk. Who he'd assumed was the leader was a massive man, who'd appeared to be a biblical mask in a cheap suit. Drool dripped from his massive jaws. A small terrier-like person, who barely came up to his hip, ran past Dabi to join the rest of the pack. So, Dabi disguised a laugh as a cough. Are you going to get adopted? Mr. Mastiff's growled. You think that's funny? Dabi bit his lip to keep from laughing. Do you want to work with / join the league? Depends. Mr. Salford's lip curled, baring his teeth. Are you also amused by my mutational quirks? Oof. No, it's not like that. Dabi protested. Some of my best friends have mutation quirks. The league even have a lizard guy. That's what they all say, Mr. Gruffs barked. They assume that just because we look like animals, they can treat us like we're not above basic instinct. And, Spot, we've been over this. Do not hump legs during meetings. There was a remorseful sorry from somewhere behind Dabi. He did not turn to look. Dabi held his hands up in a mocking surrender. My bad. Mr. Scruff still growled, but in the interest of professionalism, continued. So what business does the League of Villains have with the strays? We're recruiting, Dabi said simply. He hoped a fight broke out soon. He was itching to throw a punch. We've got the power, but not the numbers. The League would be powerful allies, Scruff said. But I believe frickle allies. We are thinking less of an ally situation and more of the strays dissolve to become a part of the League, Dabi said. Take care of the frickle ally issue, huh? We take care of our own. Come on, just get pissed and start fighting already. Miss Scruff considered. That's a very extreme proposal. We the strays have enjoyed our autonomy. What do you offer that would make us want to join? Yeesh, he was so reasonable. Dabi was beginning to feel like if he was looking for a fight, he was barking up the wrong tree. He kept that one to himself. We have an elite team of powerful villains, a strong following of stain, and very importantly, we have a name for ourselves. Dabi bragged. Muskoff shook his head, causing the jowls to swing mesmerously. No, I mean, what benefits can you offer to your members? Is there paid time off? Health insurance? A good team of lawyers? We have been in need of a good team of lawyers. The terrier sniffer put in. Do you offer loading, safe houses? Muscroft continued. Shit, these were actually good ideas. Maybe you should pitch them when he got back. What did the League have to offer? Dabi thought. We have a good parental leave policy, and you get access to the League's Spotify premium account. We're still working on a Netflix. Oh, he snapped his fingers. Free booze, baby. There was a positive-sounding murmur at that. Anything else? Miss Gruff prompted. Nope, Dabi thought. We do thoroughly vet. He broke off, trying to sniffle a laugh at his own joke. We thoroughly vet our recruits. You seem like a promising bunch, but I'll need to know your quirk so I can decide if it's even worth extending the offer. Wow, bullshitting people was fun. He should do this more often. You first, Miss Gruff said, with narrowed eyes. I'll show you mine if you show you yours. Huh, I like your style. Dabi enlightened his hand. There was a polite applause. Very well, said Miss Gruff. I have a sonic bark. Bark is actually worse than your bite, then? Dabi joked. Miss Gruff shrugged. They both kill. I smell, Sniffer said shrilly. Yeah, and you could sniff things real good, too. Someone quarreled. Huh? I don't get it, Sniffer said in confusion. I'm capable of physical communication with dogs and wolves, another member said. I have notorious dog breath. Yet another said. Sure, but what's your quirk? Dabi joked. Someone gasped in offense. Hey, I just told that joke to Sniffer, surveyed the crew in front of him. Then he noticed someone, much shorter than the rest, including Sniffer. They appeared to be a golden retriever wearing a sports jersey. This is Buddy, the psyched intrude. He is very good with projectiles. Air, Buddy? Dabi gasps. I'm such a big fan. I've seen all 12 of your movies. Buddy did not respond. The physic started. He's actually a dog. We're not even sure if he has a quirk or if he's just good at throwing balls. An actual dog, huh? Does he like head pats? Dabi asked. He does enjoy them, yes. The psychic confirmed. Can I pet his head? You may pet his head. The psychic inclined their head. Dabi pet Buddy's head and received a lick for his efforts. Gross, but also cute. Buddy has my invitation to join the league, Dabi said. The psychic nodded. He will consider it. What about the league's goals? Miss Gruff cut in. Pretty simple. We want to rid the world of fake heroes and all that. We run an anti-All Might face group page. Haven't you seen the Stain video? It pretty much covers what we're trying to do. Dabi shrugged. Man, the league actually sounded like some lame thing when he put it that way. Miss Gruff nodded. I'm aware of the league's philosophy from your publicity, but what are your solid plans? Killing heroes, making the world safer for non-heroes, lobbying for regulation and accountability of heroes' actions, ending the use of child soldiers. How are you ridding the world of fake heroes? We have, nomus to kill heroes, Dabi said. We don't really go the legal route. I see, said Miss Gruff. If you have these nomus, why do you need more members? And do you have a portfolio of successful hits and missions we could see? Dabi was beginning to feel like a student taking a test he was ill-prepared for. We'll have to get back to you on that one. This was more of an, interest meeting. Mr. Miscruft brought a massive paw to his temple. In other words, you're wasting our time. Wasting is a strong word. You say you come here to recruit, yet you have no selling points, no benefits to offer, no plan. Miss Gruff went on. It almost makes me think you have utter motives. What? Utter motives? Who? Me? Dabi forced a laugh. Ha ha. No, usually we go League of Villains, and people go, I'm in. And that's why you have so much success? Miss Gruff said in a dry tone. Usually these meetings go south pretty quickly. I'm just honestly wasn't expecting to get this far, Dabi admitted. Mr. Scruff cocked his head. You came here for a fight then? Yeah, pretty much. This was more like it. Miss Gruff slid out his cheap suit jacket. Well, we hate to disappoint. I don't like you. I don't think the league is much too full of themselves, and done nothing to deserve their reputation. Let's see if some old dogs can teach you some new tricks. Okay, so you're allowed to make dog puns? Dabi scoffed. Shame none of you are Dalmatians. Because there's about to be a fire. He enlightened his hands. The warehouse broke into growls. The strays fanned out to circle around him. Normally, Dabi might have pulled them up into flames and been done with it. But he needed some entertainment. It seemed like they were communicating wordlessly. Right, Dabi thought. The psychic. He wasn't sure if dog quirks made the strays count as dogs enough for the psychic's quirk, but there wasn't really any other explanation he could think of. Dabi flexed his hands, preparing to launch fire at the psychic. His phone buzzed in his pocket. Instinctively, he reached for it, holding up his hands for pause. I'm sorry, are we boring you? Miss Gruff barked. Dabi didn't hear him. He was transfixed by the text he just received. From Baby Mama. He's piping! He felt like his brain was buffering. First thought to load was Hawks texted him back. Second was nice. Third, and most important, was actually comprehending of the text. Omelette was hatching. In panic, Dabi blurted out, "My wife is going in labor." Not a single part of that statement was true. However, the egg my associate with benefits, who I knocked out by accident, laid is hatching, just didn't have the same effect. He's just saying that because he bit off more than he could chew. Someone, Spot, growled. "Yeah," Sniffer yelped. "Let's get him." Dabi only had the presence of mind to throw an arm in front of him for defense as the pack surged forward. "Stop!" Mscriff barked so loudly it made Dabi's ears ring. "But boss, don't we need to teach the league a lesson?" Spot whined. Mscriff marched forward to tower over Dabi. "Change of plans," he said cryptically. Fucking finally, they texted. Oh my fucking god. I've been going insane. We're also halfway, so I feel like there's probably just 2 more chapters left. If so, this was a cute little, fic to read, hot wings. I don't think I've done a Dabi X Hawks. I'm gonna search for more Dabi X Hawks. I really want to do more ships, so I want you guys to tell me down below which ships you want. I think I'm gonna probably make a Google spreadsheet so that you could insert ships and different fan fictions for that ship that you want to recommend for me to do, or even for me to read and stuff like that. So I'll probably do that in the next couple days, right? So watch out for that community post. Probably by the time I'm done, setting it up and doing that stuff and thinking about the logistics and stuff like that, it's probably gonna be up already because I'm recording this 3 days ahead of time. I've been getting ahead of time. Let's go. I've been recording like 2 videos of the series a day. Basically 6 videos a day. I kind of want to go into 9. I know I can do 9 and I've done 9 before. It's just time consuming and time moggling. I hope that Monday I could also record a video because I know I'm going to work on Monday, and depending on what time I come back from work is that, because I don't know when I'm going to come back from work, right? Because it's training, so it's like it could be 3 hours, it could be 5 hours. Last time it was just 3 hours, right? Which wasn't that bad, but yeah, I'm gonna be working a lot more, so my schedule's gonna start to become hectic. But there's probably gonna be 2, at max 3 more episodes left, and let's be honest, it's looking more like it's gonna be 2 episodes left. So the next series that's gonna take over this one happens to be a ship that also doesn't get as much love, which is gonna be hilarious because I'm gonna be doing 2 ships that don't get as much love when it comes to Podfics. Plus the found family fic that I'm doing. The ship is a Mel X Mel ship. It is Guy XL, Guy X Guy. So it's not like Momojiro or anything like that. Although I would love to do that. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm soups excited. I did not just say that. Oh, I did not just say that. Whatever. It has to do with the. I'll give a hint. What hint can I do? Hot tape. That's the first thing. Or ice tape. Yeah. Okay. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.